Labour Party presidential candidate promises to tackle insecurity, poverty, unemployment in Nigeria. NLC kicks against upward review of remuneration for political office holders. The CBN has ordered banks to pay the new Naira notes over the counter. On business news, NNPCL awards the Kano Oil Refinery Repair Project. On international scene, the United States signs agreements with the Philippines to use its bases. And on sport update, Gombe United earns first 4 points with victory over Shooting Stars. Hello and welcome to Standard Voice Television News Channel. I'm Mkuthum Muhammad. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has promised to open up the nation's borders, tackle insecurity, poverty, hunger and youth unemployment if elected in the February 25th presidential poll. For more on the story, Samir Ibrahim has the details.
Mr. Obi made the promise while addressing a large crowd of his party supporters on Thursday in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, at the presidential campaign rally. He appealed to Zamfara electorate to vote for him and all his party's candidates at all levels in the coming general elections in order to make their plans for the country a reality. In a related development, the Zamfara state coordinator, Tinubu Shatima Campaign Council, Senator Kabiru Garba Marafa, said immediately the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Bola Tinubu is elected next, Nigeria's president will free the country from the 77 trillion naira debts. In a press conference in Gusau, Senator Kabiru Marafa recalled that the APC presidential candidate has governed Lagos State and showed his ability to move Nigeria to the needed greater heights in terms of economic diversification and secure improved internally generated revenue. According to Marafa, Tinubu will, if elected, address issues that drive the country into where it is today, adding that though the fight against lingering security challenges by the APC-led government is achieving ground, and more weight will be thrown onto that aspect if Asiwaju is elected next president. Marafa stressed that the security will be priority of Bola Tinubu so that the expected development will flow in the quest to change the entire face of the country, saying no stone will be left unturned in the move to uplift the country's present financial position from consumption to productive levels. Samira Ibrahim reporting for Standard Voice TV.
The Nigerian Labour Congress has opposed the demand by the public and political office holders in the country for an upward review of their remuneration package by the federal government. The Kano NLC chairman, Malam Kabiru Minjibir, said this while speaking on behalf of the NLC chairman of the zone at the zonal public hearing on the review of remuneration package for public, political and judicial office holders on Wednesday in Kano.
The upward review of the remuneration of political office holders for now. The reasons are obvious. 63% of persons living within Nigeria, representing 133 million people, are said to be multidimensionally poor, according to Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. The economic challenges confronting Nigerians today are unprecedented, and it will be utterly irresponsible and unacceptable for anyone in the ranks of political office holders to expect or demand for a pay rise at this point of time.
Malam Minjibir said that such review was not necessary at the time the country was grappling with a lot of economic challenges. He noted that no amount of increase in Naira terms would be good enough if government didn't control the rise in inflation and high cost of goods in the country. The NLC chairman urged the federal government to suspend the upward review of the remuneration package for now. The chairman of Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, Alhaji Muhammad Shehu, said President Muhammad Buhari had mandated the commission to review the remuneration package. The Central Bank of Nigeria has ordered all commercial banks in the country to start paying their depositors in new Naira notes from the banks instead of paying them through ATMs. This order came after business activities almost came to a standstill after the Nigerian government issued new notes of 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira notes. In a statement signed by the Director of Communication of the bank, Osita Nwani Sobi, the CBN said that it has noticed some bad behaviors of the citizens in selling and throwing the new bills in the air and trampling them during some festivals. Mr. Nwani Sobi said the central bank has collaborated with the Nigerian police force and the country's tax collection agency EFCC to punish those caught breaking the laws of the country, especially those who have defrauded the money's economy. The bank also warned the Nigerians to refrain from demanding the country's currency notes, especially when celebrating birthdays, weddings and funerals. The founder of the Medicaid Cancer Foundation and Kebbi State First Lady, Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu, has said that Nigeria has recorded over 10,000 new cancer cases since the beginning of this year. Mrs. Bagudu spoke on Thursday in Abuja during the launch of the book titled Footprints by the First Ladies Against Cancer FLAC, noting that the book is a compilation of all FLAC activities and efforts to bridge the cancer care gaps in Nigeria. Mrs. Bagudu stressed the need to address the inequities around cancer by increasing awareness, building sustainable partnerships and creating innovative finance vehicles that could help reduce the cost of treatment. Executive Director, National Primary Health Care Development Agency, NPHCDA, Faisal Shuaib said the federal government will introduce human papillomavirus HPV vaccines in the country's routine immunization schedule this year.
Vaccine. And she has asked me that question every single time I've met her. I'm happy to announce that thanks to the leadership provided by the Honorable Minister of Health, we will introduce HPV vaccine this year in Nigeria.
The Minister of Health, Osagi Ehanire, advised Nigerians to shun lifestyle practices such as sedentary lifestyle that increases risk of cancer. Zamfara State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has warned its members to ensure total respect for the rules of engagement for absolute hitch-free conduct of the forthcoming general elections in the state. The State Commandant, Mohammed Bello Muazu, made the call during capacity building organized for the senior officers of the command, being part of the preparations for the peaceful conduct of the 2023 general elections. For more on the story, Sumaya Dosara reports.
Commandant Muazu warned the members of the NSCDC must be forwarding and after elections exhibit due diligence, commitment and courage in the discharge of their constitutional duties and must not compromise the performance of duties on any ground. The Corps shall cooperate, collaborate and partner with other security agencies for the purpose of formidable synergy to ensure that the election is peaceful, fair, free and credible. Personnel are to link up with the operation room and adhere strictly to harmonized operational order to ensure, among other, minimum of the one person per polling booth, collation and final result declaration ventures. In the related development, the Nigerian Police Force, in collaboration with the One Dues Limited, has concluded the training of over 6,000 of its personnel on curbing electoral violence and related crimes ahead of the 2020 general elections. This was disclosed by the first spokesman, CSP Olomuyiwa Adejobi, in a statement on Tuesday. According to him, the training was carried out across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country on effective strategies for combating cultism, kidnapping and electoral violence in the country ahead of the 2020 general elections. Sumaya Dosa reporting for Svtv News.
The Abuja Federal High Court has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to accept the nomination of candidates of the Labour Party in 24 states of the Federation. The court ordered that the electoral body must accept the list of the candidates either manually or through its electronic nomination portal. For more on the story, Jamila Ibrahim has the details.
Delivering the judgment, Justice Eko held the INEC violated sections 31, 33 and 36 of the Electoral Act 2022 in rejecting the LP candidate in the affected state on the ground of non-functional of its nomination portal badge. The 24 states affected by the court order are Kwara, Plateau, Nasarawa, Lagos, Kaduna, Oyo, Benue, Bauchi, Ebonyi and Ekiti states. The rest are Katsina, Bayelsa, Niger, Rivers, Sokoto, Akwa Ibom, Gombe, Borno, Oshun, Adamawa and Cross River State, among others. The Labour Party had last year, November, conducted submission nomination for its candidates who withdraw from the 2023 general elections in the affected states. The withdrawals were communicated to INEC by the National Chairman and National Secretary of the party, along with notifications of 27th October date to conduct submission nomination primary elections. However, at the point of uploading the fresh candidate's name, INEC claimed that its nomination portal was faulty and declined to accept the candidate's list manually, promoting the 24 legal actions. That's the report. Jamila Ibrahim Dusara.
Troops of the 1 Mechanized Division of the Nigerian Army had on Thursday rescued 30 people who were kidnapped by bandits in the Birnin-Gwari local government area of Kaduna State. According to a statement by the Acting Deputy Director of Army Public Relations of 1 Mechanized Division, Lieutenant Colonel Musa Yahaya, the troops engaged the bandits who were kidnapping commuters at Manini village along the Kaduna-Birnin-Gwari road. The troops who were escorting the Chief of Defense Training and Operations Major General C.E. Udonwa, who was on operational visits to Operation Well Punch headquarters in Birnin-Gwari, overpowered the bandits during a gun duel, thereby forcing the criminals to withdraw in disarray. During the encounter, the troops rescued 30 kidnapped victims, recovered 2 motorcycles, and immediately cleared the highway for the free flow of vehicular traffic. The rescued victims were escorted to Udawa and Birnin-Gwari to continue their journey. 1 person has been confirmed dead and at least 20 persons rescued in a 2-story building that collapsed in Nigeria's capital Thursday afternoon. An official of the FCT Emergency Management Agency, who asked not to be named, confirmed to newsmen that 21 people have been rescued in a combined effort by multiple agencies, adding that many people are still trapped in the structure that collapsed at the 7th Avenue, Gwarimpa. He said the persons rescued have been taken to Gwarimpa General Hospital and that the agency is still making efforts to rescue more victims. The agency is expected to release a statement soon on the building collapse. Details of how the incident happened are still not clear as of the time of this report, but witnesses told newsmen that the building was under construction when the incident happened and that many of the victims are construction workers at the site. The Kano State Police Command has arrested 2 youths who were suspected of kidnapping 2 children and have asked for 20 million naira to be sent to them as ransom. The Kano State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Abdullahi Haruna told our correspondent in Kano, Musbahu Bala, that the arrest was made based on intelligence reports gathered by the police. He said the suspects sent a letter containing their phone number and account numbers to the parents of the kidnapped children to send them the ransom money. SP Kiawa said that the suspects have already confirmed that they have committed the crime, and the Kano State Police Commissioner CP Maman Dauda has ordered to expand the investigation and prosecute them before the court to judge them according to their crime. The High Court of Islamic Sharia at the Filin Hockey in Kano sent Murja Ibrahim Kunya to the correctional facility. She was arraigned before the court, where she was accused of the crime of inciting violence with obscene words and threats. The prosecuting lawyer Lamidu Abbas Orandinki read the allegation filed before to her. Murja's lawyer Barrister Yasir Umar Musa asked to be put on bail, while the judge Abdullahi Haluru Abubakar ordered her to be brought back to court until the 16th of the month to declare the court's position on seeking bail. Our correspondent in Kano, Musbahu Bala, has reported that her lawyer sought to take Mihisba before the day of sitting so that he could preach and advise her about the allegations against her. Now on business update. The Nigerian oil company NNPCL has signed an agreement with Daewoo Engineering and Construction Nigeria Limited to repair the oil refinery in Kaduna as soon as possible. The Kaduna Oil Refinery, which refines at least 1,000 barrels of oil a day, is one of the 4 oil refineries in Nigeria that have not been producing oil for years, as the country depends on importing oil from foreign countries. The Fatakwal Oil Refinery has already been repaired, where an Italian company is repairing it. Nigeria has 4 oil refineries, where it has 2 in Fatakwal, 1 in Warri and 1 in Kaduna State. Now on international news. The United States have been able to use 4 more military bases in the Philippines, which will allow the country to monitor China's activities near Taiwan. As a result of the agreement, Washington has filled the gaps in its alliance with the United States, which extend from South Korea and Japan from the north to Australia from the south. Right there where there is a conflict is the part of the Philippines that borders 2 important areas, namely Taiwan and the South China Sea. The agreement, which in part restores the colonialism that has been involved in the past from the United States.
We discussed expanding the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, which allows our forces to operate together more efficiently from key sites across the Philippines.
The United States has already gained access to 5 locations in the country under an agreement to improve security cooperation. The increase in power, according to a statement issued by Washington, will allow more support to prevent climate change and other types of disasters, probably meant to prevent China from any attacks in the region. Now on Sport Update. Gombe United Football Club secured their first win in the 2022/2023 Nigeria Professional Football League season with a 2-1 win over Shooting Stars of Ibadan. In their Group A match day 5 fixture on Wednesday at the Pantami Township Stadium in Gombe, Taye Yusuf grabbed a brace in the 52nd and 58th minutes. The goals helped the home team to secure their first maximum points of the season. Meanwhile, Brazilian forward Gabriel Martinelli, 21, has signed a new deal with Arsenal that would keep him at the club until 2027. According to reports, Newcastle United have joined the list of contenders to sign England midfielder Jude Bellingham, 19, from Borussia Dortmund. Todd Boehly has angered Fiorentina after the Chelsea owner decided to try to sign Moroccan midfielder Sofiane Amrabat, 26, on a loan in the transfer window. River Plate are set to receive around £28 million following the move of 22-year-old Argentine midfielder Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea from Benfica. In another story, Chelsea's local players fear that the club will punish them in order to avoid falling into the trap of the Financial Fair Play (FFP) if the Blues fail to qualify for the Champions League this season. Tottenham also completed negotiations to sign the Spanish forward Gerard Deulofeu, 28, before withdrawing him from continuing to play due to a knee injury. That's all we have in news updates for today, but before I go, a recap of the major headlines. Labour Party presidential candidates promises to tackle insecurity, poverty, unemployment in Nigeria. NLC kicks against upward review of remuneration for political office holders. The CBN has ordered banks to pay the new Naira notes over the counter. On business news, NNPCL awards the Kano Oil Refinery Repair Project. On international scene, the United States signs agreements with the Philippines to use its bases. And on Sport Update, Gombe United earns first 4 points with victory over Shooting Stars. And that's all. Thanks for watching. I'm Umkuth Mohammed. Have a nice day.